Okay, so take your chunk of clay and squeeze it through your hands, and I'm going to provide clays of different hardness. So if you have little kids in your house, you're going to need to get from the pile of clay that says soft clay for little hands. Begin by squeezing the clay in your hands. This is wedging it. This just consolidates the clay, gets out the air bubbles, makes it more workable. And then roll it in the palms of your hands or on a tabletop. If you're going to work on a tabletop, put a piece of paper down so the clay won't stick to the table. Until you get a round ball of clay without any cracks in it. And we're going to do a pinch pot based on finding one's way in clay. It's a book by Paulus Berenson that was published many years ago, and I'll give you the link to that book. So begin by pushing your thumb, holding the ball of clay upside down, and move your fingers down and pinch at the same time. And we're going to try to make a symmetrical pinch pot to begin with. So I'm going all the way to the bottom and trying to pinch and thin the bottom. And you should have an opening about like this on the inside at the beginning stages. Should be still smooth on the outside. When you open it sufficiently, you can put 2 thumbs on the inside if you like. So in order to get a symmetrical pot, you have to do the same motion or the same pinch in each location repeatedly all over the piece so that it stays symmetrical as you're working with it. And you can see that I'm pinching and putting pressure all the way down the finger and from the thumb inside. And the thumb inside has a nice curve that works great for making pinch pots. So after I do the initial opening, using Berenson's method of making a pinch pot, we're going to pinch the upper 2/3 and thin the walls of the upper part of the clay will allow the upper part to stiffen while we protect the bottom half of the pinch pot in plastic and some wet paper towels as the top part dries out. So this is recycled clay. It's a little bit short, that's why it's cracking on the outside. Cracking on the outside is okay. You can always, at any point, take your thumb, support with pressure on the inside, and wipe your thumb across the outside to heal those cracks. And periodically, you want to go back to the rim of the pinch pot and compress the rim and keep it tight and strong. You can do that with your thumb. And again, smooth over and heal any cracks. And then continue to pinch. So I am pinching and I am pulling with the outside fingers and trying to stretch the clay and thin the walls. And each pinch pull motion is repeated all the way around the form, and it's fairly easy to feel the different thicknesses of clay. So this pinch pot is getting a little unwieldy. I'm going to allow it to rest, but before I allow it to rest, I want to go back and compress the top and try to heal some of those cracks. You do not need to add water to this in most cases. Water will only weaken the clay. But if your top is cracking more than you want, you can let it rest. You can take some of the soft clay with the beginning. Are we getting too long?
6:28.
So make a coil, and to add strength to the top, you can begin pinching your fresh, soft piece of coiled clay on the inside of the form. This will make the top stronger. It'll also give a line that is distinctive and adds a little visual interest to the top of the pot. And if you don't go quite long enough, fill in with another little piece of clay. So this line, to make a nice finish to the top, is pinched in. And as you're pinching it in, you're also wiping down with the thumb on the inside to attach it to the body of the pinch pot. So you can see you get an interesting line around the outside edge. And I'm going to support the outside edge with the outside fingers and take the thumb and wipe the line on the inside. Try to smooth it out some. So this pinch pot is opening into a rather wide bowl, and as you practice making pinch pots, you'll begin to be able to control the shape of the pinch pot, and I'll give you some instructions from Finding One's Way of Clay, how to do that. So this pot I'm going to let rest upside down for a minute while I get a piece of plastic and some water in order to let it rest on the top.